what we know about back pain is that it's only 1% of back pain disorders that have really serious stuff, like it could be the cause, like a malignancy, a fracture, an inflammatory disorder, and only around 5% where back pain is linked to, say, a disc prolapse, that's where there's some kind of nerve compression. 95% of back pain disorders have no diagnosis based on scan. But the problem we've created is that whereas 50 years ago, people would have been called, have had what they used to call lumbago or back pain or a back sprain, now we've created another problem because we have highly sensitive imaging techniques like the MRI scanner, which picks up so-called abnormalities in almost everybody, because if you scan anybody's spine, 90% have got degenerate discs, around 45% have got disc bulges or protrusions, 20-30% protrusions or annular tears or facet joint arthrosis. So in trying to identify the 5%, we've created this massive belief in the majority of back pain patients that back pain is caused by these findings on scan, which actually are normal findings that are not predictive of back pain.
The MRI scan comes back and obviously we'll touch on it shortly, but it showed herniation in the L5, S1, and I think it was a small, I don't know, it was a herniation or bulge in the L4, L5. I obviously mentioned herniations, and at that point my anxieties had probably elevated somewhat, and I think my pain had gone up as well.
I had MRI scans done back a couple of years after that, and got told I had to have an operation. I had to stop everything I was doing. They said that because it's my lower disc, I had to go through the front, might not be able to have kids. Now, all this sort of scary stuff.
People said, oh, it can take you a year to 18 months. We rang a surgeon, we were going to get referred to a surgeon. His PA said she's going to people take 10 years.
Another one in the Geezer and Isle Street told me I'd die with backache.
You'd what, sorry?
I would die with backache.
Kept getting told these horror stories, you know what I mean? So, got in my head that I was in bits.
Yeah.
I was told they hadn't seen this in a young man. It was like I had a back of a 70-year-old. That's what I was told.
Yeah.
And I went to the GP. All I really wanted from him was painkillers. And he said, the last person, my wife was verified this, the last person that came to see me who had this type of back pain for this long had cancer. That was a GP. That was a GP.
And how did that feel?
Well, you can imagine, can't you? I mean, if I've got an headache, I've got a brain tumour.
Yeah.
So someone saying that to me just escalates it 1,000,000%.
And then what's happened is we then have this belief that back pain is caused by these damaged structures. We start treating the spine like it is damaged. We tell people, oh, you got to protect your back and keep it straight and watch out when you lift, strengthen your core, which are things that we know people with pain already do.
And I went to the physio, and I was there for a good maybe 8 months. Doing various, they focused on my core muscles, doing various exercises.
The physiotherapist started saying that there was muscular imbalances, needed some core strengthening, prescribed a few exercises to sort of strengthen the back, strengthen the core. And
that lasted for a while, but never really any improvement. In actual fact, it was getting worse.
Right. So what kind of things were they?
It was getting me doing things like the crunches, stuff on the ball, good mornings, where obviously just try and keep tilt, or try and bend with my hips and keep it flat back.
So in standing?
Basically, yeah. And it made it worse.
And we're doing these core strength exercises.
Okay. What kind of things?
So that when I'm sitting here now, I'm tensing my core muscles, and when I stand up, it'll be mainly from here, and I'll be pushing up with my buttocks. And every time I move, if I'm so I've opened the car door, I tense my core muscles and things like that.
Is that helpful for you, do you think, or not?
Well,
for your back pain? And then we've gone down this other path of saying, well, we've got to inject the spine and use different kinds of pharmacological approaches, and then end up with fusing the back in an attempt to treat it.
I went and saw the consultant a couple of weeks ago, and back pain's still persistent. I'll go into his office and he says, right, Chris, what are you doing? What's the problem? So he explained the problem, brings up the images, and straight away he sort of says, while looking at your scans, he said, you're not a suitable candidate for any invasive work. But the only thing that would fit you is a fusion. So naturally, I prep myself again.
We kind of have developed this whole belief system around that back pain is all about structure. And so we've directed our treatments at treating the symptom of pain, and we haven't done a very good job of it. In terms of the cause of the problem, what we understand is it's a lot more complex. Back pain can be caused by a number of factors, both what we call peripheral drivers, things like abnormal muscle tension or muscle guarding, adopting postures or movement patterns that are rigid and guarded and protective, which can create stress on pain-sensitive structures.
So if I asked you to bend down towards your toes, what do you reckon about that? Would you do that?
Yeah.
Not really. A bit nervous of that.
Yeah? So that's it, sort of thing. You wouldn't bend past that?
No.
That's it.
I was to ask you to pick that up. So you don't bend at all? And I notice when you sit, you don't relax into the chair. Is that normal for you?
No, I used to be really slow.
So why did you change? Because I'm picking that when you were slothly, you didn't have a back problem.
No, I didn't.
So why the change?
Because I think, because my GP said that you can always tell people with back problems because they sit upright, and then the guy referred me to is talk about core strength and,
And that interplays with other things around stress-related factors. People are at high levels of stress, people who are not sleeping, people who have suffered from depression or anxiety. We know that can influence the amplifier of the effect of the brain, which can sensitize the body's spinal structures.
If you don't mind, I'm going to get you to close your eyes again.
Yeah.
And can you, if you were to visualize that, that thought you have when you might hit a bump on the road, like when you were last week.
Yeah.
What's that like for you?
What, just try and do it now?
If you do it now. Oh, okay. What happened? What did you notice in your body? Tensed up.
Just tensed up a bit, yeah.
I feel I'm broken, I feel I'm weak, my hair's grey, my skin's grey, I'm just...
Did that all happen?
Yeah.
In the last 4 months?
No, sadly it didn't. But,
but that's how you feel? You feel like you've aged?
I'm in a dark place.
Yeah, sure.
And we've almost created a perfect storm, because if your belief is that you've had a scan and your joints are worn out, then when we ask people what that means to them, they think that their backs are crumbling, or that with time, the more they use them, they're going to wear them out.
I had this perhaps a vision of discs crumbling or collapsing, facet joints sort of being tight together and rubbing, and arthritic conditions developing.
Horrible thoughts.
They're horrible thoughts, yes.
Yeah.
They become very worried about that. They start protecting their backs and abnormally stress these pain-sensitive structures. And they stop doing the things in life that give them meaning. They're too frightened to exercise, so that has huge impact on their general health and health comorbidities.
I just feel like my muscles are probably tight, but I've not stretched them at all. Not done anything.
Is that because you're a bit worried about stretching them?
Yeah. I'm worried about anything to do with my back worries me.
So are you fearful of your back?
Constantly.
Yeah, how fearful?
Well, as I say, I don't think the disc is going to go, but I just fear being in a place away from home where I'm suddenly...
And you faint again.
Yeah, or I'm in a lot of pain
and you can't get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go on the train, I don't want to go...
Yeah, okay.
One day my wife and kids were out and my little girl said, hold on a minute, who's going to dress Dad?
Right.
And that hit me. I thought, I can't go on like this.
Yeah. That's not a good place to be.
And then we create a catastrophe around the fact that they're too frightened to do things that help them, and the very things that they've been advised to do often feed the problem that they've created.
My employer put me through to a physio, so it was the fourth one, occupational health. And they basically got me doing loads of these line extension exercises. And that, I think, just finished me off completely.
One of our research group, Ivan Lynn, published a paper just recently in the British Journal of Medicine Open, proposing that, in fact, disability around back pain is iatrogenic. That is, it's health care system induced. where we hear the stories of people with pain, like we have the last few days, around the pain started with not even an injury. And then they go through this cascading process of seeking different treatments, given different advice, being told your disc's damaged, or this is worn out, or you've got a pinched nerve, or you're going to be careful when you bend and hold your core and be tense when you move. And then they describe this process of becoming depressed, highly anxious, fearful, start avoiding stuff, and then their life's trapped.
The problem about my job as a head teacher is that I'm sitting a lot.
Yeah.
And I was just aware that I was getting increasingly uncomfortable around the top of my glutes, and I stood up to try and stretch it, and it just seemed to get worse, and then I just passed out.
And so we know that if you ask people with pain, they say, my life is on hold because I don't understand it, I can't control it, and I can't do the things in life that give me meaning.
With the physical journey, there's a sort of spiritual and a psychological journey as well. And I look back now, I'm almost embarrassed about how low I got, you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
This sounds ridiculous,
no.
But I was suicidal.
I think there's now a general belief that in fact persistent back pain is something that we can't change, and that the best thing we can do is to really advise people to make the most of their lives, to accept their situation and go back to doing things that give their life value so that they're less disabled. Now, I think that may be the fact for a very small group of people, but I think we miss a whole lot of people who have huge opportunity for change. And I think that's a view that needs to shift amongst health professionals, that we stop thinking of backs as backs being damaged, that pain does not equal structural injury, that movement is good for the body, that backs should be trusted to move in a normal way, to give people strategies and confidence, both healthcare professionals and physiotherapists and other healthcare professionals, to give them a different view on pain, to stop describing backs as being caused by wear and tear and disc degeneration and disc bulges, to tell people that these findings are normal, and then to build the capacity within themselves in terms of understanding their pain and the context of their life to find ways to break that pain cycle. And we've seen examples of this as we have across a number of years, and we've put these up on our Pain Ed website, which is a free open access website that we're committed to try and change the story around pain, to make people think of it as something that is modifiable, that there are ways in which people can take control of their life to get their life back. So what's happened in the last year then? What's been happening for you?
I started up my own company, non-stop working, digging holes.
You digging holes?
Yeah, laying water mains, gas mains, electric mains.
Not bad
dig
for
every day of my life.
someone with a back with an 8-year-old.
Dig every day of my life. Works 7 days a week, every month. I just don't stop working.
So just keep your legs straight and bend over. And up you come, bend backwards. What are the key things that allowed you to change, you think?
Completely my mindset changed. Knowing myself, I won't do myself no damage. Relaxing and moving. And yeah, that was it. Just my mindset was the big thing.
Big thing for me was the breathing. Is this the relaxed breathing?
It's good. Feel your legs working?
Yeah. I've never had to stand up at desk at work. I don't feel it anymore when I'm at work, at my desk. In that, I think largely it's mind over matter. I don't think about it anymore.
I sort of try and go to the gym at least 4 times a week. I try and do, say, 40 minutes on a weight session or something, and maybe 10, 20 on a bike.
Just come, you're doing them quite quickly. You used to do it like this.
Yeah.
Just hand side on, just bend down towards your toes again. That's it. Yeah, we were trying to encourage you to do this a year ago. It was not easy, was it?
You begin to understand, hold on a minute, this is all normal, and I don't have to have these spasms, and I don't have to be lying on the floor at meetings at school. And actually, I can manage my pain, and I can actually get it back to what it should be and take control of my own destiny. Suddenly you realise, well, hold on, I've not had a day off work for 4 months and I haven't felt bad.
I started doing long walks, and then I started jogging half of it. Now I run for 2 miles on a Monday, I run for 3 on a Wednesday, and I run for 5 Friday.
Jog on the spot. Show us your squat. No worries with that?
No, nothing. Good as gold, mate.